Our sponsors this week is the Heritage Chippy, best salt and pepper box in Liverpool. Free Chinese meals for £15 every Wednesday. Every Monday, all burger meals at our price. Give them a follow. Thanks.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Billy Moore podcast, and today's special guest is none other than Paddy The Baddy. Welcome Paddy, and thanks for coming on. So, tell me a little bit about yourself, lad.
Well, I'm, as you said, I'm Paddy The Baddy Pimblett from Iton, 26. I've got a record of 15-3 in MMA. That's what everyone knows me for. Like, I'm a professional MMA fighter.
Yeah. So what was it like growing up, and where are you from? Iton?
Iton, yeah, I'm from Iton, lad. Not the roughest part of Iton, lad, know what I mean? I'm not from like the Bakeys or Dovey, nothing like what's proper rough. I was from like, my dad likes to call it the right side of the tracks.
Yeah.
Because my dad's from Page Moss, know what I mean? My dad moved us to the, like by Greystone and that, by Pilch Lane. So it was just, but I didn't have a bad upbringing or nothing, know what I mean? By ours was sound.
So how old are you now?
I'm 26 now.
So growing up, you never had a bad upbringing, things were okay?
Yeah, things were sound, know what I mean? I always grew up with a family that loved me and that, know what I mean? My dad weren't there now and then, know what I mean? He had to go on some holidays, but, you know, it was always sound. I knew my family always fucking loved me and that.
See, that's probably like put you on the path, you know, to do the right thing, really, because most people, you know, that I interviewed that have had a bad upbringing, like, they end up in some fucking unsavoury places, you know what I mean? But you've gone to a point where you're at a good age, you know, you've had so many fights, and you know you're doing well with yourself. So tell us a little bit about your leads up to training and fighting, and what led you to get involved in the MMA and cage fighting.
Lad, I put a picture up on my Instagram yesterday. I was the skinniest kid ever, know what I mean? I was proper skinny. Like, I never forget when I did first start MMA. Because I used to sell Lucozades and that in school,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that got me my money to pay for me MMA, to go and train MMA. I can remember getting caught in school selling, and the teacher being like, "What are you doing this for?" Blah blah. I was like, "Well, I'm using it to pay for me gym." And the teacher, who's now the head teacher of the school, turned to me and said, "What are you wasting your time with that for, Patrick? You're an academic. You should be using your brain. You're not big enough for any of that. You're too small for all that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, is that what you think?" Know what I mean? Now she's the head teacher of my school, lad, and I've been in with my world title to speak to the kids.
It's fucking mad, isn't it, when you've got teachers like that telling you that you're never going to amount to anything in that way.
It's crazy, you know what I mean? Teachers are meant to help you fulfill your potential and push you on to do stuff, but
yeah,
like, I got shot down there dead quick when I was younger. I was only 15 at the time. I hadn't fought on 15 or 16. I hadn't fought yet, know what I mean? So no one knew what I was capable of. They didn't know I was training every night, 2-3 hours a night, putting the work in.
It doesn't really matter what you're capable of, really, does it? If you've got something that you want to aspire to, and you've got a dream, then I think it's about, encouraging,
yeah, it is
yourself. I remember being in school and years ago when we were kids and that, and they were saying to us, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I remember like people were going, I want to be a fucking spaceman, and I want to be a fireman, and I want to be a policeman. And he said, "What do you want to be, Bill?" And I said, "I want to be a gravedigger." And they all looked at me and said, "Why do you want to be a gravedigger?" I said, "Because I'll never be out of work." Because it was about that time when fucking...
You're right there, like
the fucking miners' strike and Maggie Thatcher. I was in them years when there was it was poverty and there was no work. So I thought, if I'm a gravedigger, then I'll be Sam, won't I? You know what I mean? So, but they never encouraged me.
That's another one. I've heard people say I'd be a funeral director, because as you know, that's never people are always dying, aren't they? Know what I mean?
Yeah, sadly, but that's the cycle of life. Yeah, so going into school and you've changed, your head teacher's attitude there towards, what was it like going back with your belts in there?
It was funny, going back in. I think I spoke to the year 8 pupils or something, know what I mean? I went in and just, so I mentioned that as well. I said one of the teachers in this school told me that I was too small to do this, know what I mean? And that I wouldn't be able to do it. And now I've been invited in to come and speak to you. It's like, don't let anyone ever tell you that you can't be something that you want to be, because you can.
That's it. That's, I'm fair play to you, you know what I mean, for going ahead with that. So you've gone, so your teachers told you this at that age. So How did you react to that?
Well,
When you're 15, right?
Yeah, well, just after me 16th birthday, lad, not long after me 16th birthday, I ended up getting kicked out of school.
Yeah.
When I was in year 11 last year. Well, I didn't get kicked out. They give me extended study leave. So it's an expelled, but you come back in to do your exams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got that. And it happened at the perfect time because I got that letter, extended study leave. I went into the gym. I was training in the mornings, and then I was only training for about a week in the mornings, and one of the lads in the gym, Aaron, pulled out of his fight the next weekend. And I was only 16 at the time, and Paul said to me, do you want to take this fight? And I was like, yeah, of course I do, I'll take that fight. Lost a little bit of weight and done the fight a week later and beat someone who was 24, you know what I mean? Just took him down, stayed on top of him, punching him on top, and I won the fight, and as they say, the rest is history, you know what I mean? From that point on, I was just
How old was you when you won that fight?
16.
And you fought a 24-year-old?
Yeah.
How fucking mad's that, eh?
I know, that's what MMA was like back then. As long as you were the same weight, lad, no one was asked.
When I was when I was boxing as a kid, it was like juniors, seniors, you know what I mean? NABCs, ABAs. So you went into age groups and weight categories.
Where MMA was just so young, you know what I mean? Like, when I would done them fights, lad, you could knee to the head and egg kick and stuff like that, and ground and pound. The only thing we couldn't do was elbow. And we had bigger, like 8-ounce gloves instead of 4-ounce gloves. That was literally the only difference. And you could fight them rules from when you were 16. Yeah. Like now, they've got a lot more rules in place and regulations to do with MMA.
Can you use all them techniques now in the UK, like your elbows and stuff still?
Not. You can in pro, not an amateur though. Like you can't knee to the head an amateur anymore either. That got took out. Knee to the head.
See, like Thailand's a fucking different kettle of fish over there. They just they're lethal without
the lethal. Like I've trained over there myself once or twice when I was over there, lad, and I was just getting teeped to fuck, lad.
Yeah, just them front kicks.
Was trying to box with them because obviously like I feel like my hands are better than theirs, and then like I was just getting teeped, lad.
It's just a different style.
Just getting teeped everywhere. Yeah. I had my heartbeat sensor on just to see how many calories I was burning and stuff like that, and I sparred with some lad who was he was like. It's only like 68 key champion in Koh Samui.
Yeah.
And lad, every round, I done 3 rounds sparring with him, and every round he kicked me heartbeat sensor off my chest, just teep. You know what I mean?
Just distance. It's like when I first got involved on that, you know, I learned that, right? They said to me, you know, one of the trainers, don't ever get involved in the grappling when they get older because them knees will be coming up. You know, I'm a boxer. Yeah. You know, I'm a boxer, lad. I'm going to box like a fucking boxer. I've got my legs like him. So it was they could take kicks all day long, but like, you know, you threw a punch at them and they fucking hit the deck. It was just mad.
That's like when I watch Thai, I always think of Liam Addison. Know what I mean? Like, because Liam uses his hands more, doesn't he? Yeah. Like, and he went over there and he started beating people up with his hands where they were mainly kicks. Like, because hands hardly get scored in Thai as well, don't they? Don't really score hands. It's more kicks, knees, elbows.
Knees, they call it like, you know, teep, deckhand core, you know, so it's just the way it was. It's that the fist don't get scored as much, but, you know, like Liam, there was a few Westerners back in the day that were flying there, like Raymond Zeker. Yeah. No, he was like probably one of the best.
Yeah, he's Dutch, isn't he?
Yeah, he passed away, you know, R.I.P. Like, but yeah, there was they're like novelties, aren't they? Yeah. Come on, let's have a right fucking Westerners. I was just a crazy mixed up kid in the 2-bit town, trying to fucking pay for me fucking tea. Never mind. No, I wasn't trying to win titles or nothing. Yeah. But, so you've you know, you're getting involved now. So you've won your first fight at 16. Yeah. That must have been incredible. How did you feel after that? Because I know
it was fucking great, lad. Fighting in the Olympia, lad, and all my mates were there. You know what I mean? Beating someone who was 24, was on top of the world, lad. Yeah. Like, it was brilliant. It was not unlike. And then obviously once you got that first buzz, it was just like, this is what I want to do. Yeah. Like, I did. I wanted to do that, and I made up and pursued it. Like, obviously my mum and dad at first wanted me to. Because I ended up going to college and stuff and trying to get like A-levels. Yeah. But it was like half interfering with me training at the same time. So like sometimes I was missing college classes to go and train, and sometimes I was missing training to go to college classes. So like they were half getting in the way of each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and because like I can understand where they're coming from, especially with teachers and family members and that. It's like, are you going to make it? Yeah, that's, you know, what. So if you're not going to make it, you need some kind of backup, don't you? Let's have it right.
That's what I mean. That's what they wanted. They wanted me to have like something to fall back on. But in the end, I ended up going pro when I was 17, so I started earning little bits of money from it. But even when I got to like 4-1 or something, I was the wages that you get for MMA are very slim. You know what I mean? It's like Thai fighters don't get that much money, especially compared to boxers. So like even at that point,
what do you think? See, that's a good like, good subject to bring up. About a good topic to say. About the price ranges like boxers get.
Boxers get ridiculous money, you know what I mean? And they put their body through a lot less than us and Thai fighters. People's like, boxers turn to me. I train with pro boxers when I go and do my stuff with Chris Williams, and they say to me, "Oh, that MMA's a man's sport, innit?" And I go, "Lad, that Muay Thai is a man's sport, lad. They stand 2 feet away from each other and just punch and kick fuck out of each other for 5 threes. You know what I mean? That's that is a man's sport. You know what I mean? You've got no nerves in your shins left anymore because you've been volleying each other to fuck.
So I know that was I remember my first fight, and it was just getting whacked in the back of my leg.
Yeah.
I took two whacks in succession, and I thought, if I take another one of them, I'm going down. I am going down. And it's like on the shins as well. It's like bone on bone.
Yeah, it's like
it swells up and everything.
When
it's
bone on
horrible.
bone, you get a big horrible naughty coggy on your shin. It's
shit, lad.
It sends shivers down your spine just thinking about them shin clashes.
Yeah. Is that similar to like the MMA? Would you say it was more?
Yeah, it's Muay Thai is closer to MMA than boxing is like all day.
Yeah, but you suffer like injuries like you would.
Yeah, lads. I always say it, MMA, you don't go into a fight without an injury. I always say it, know what I mean? Like, most MMA fighters, if you go into a fight without an injury, you haven't trained hard enough.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Like that is the way it is. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of a fight I've went into without a niggle. Know what I mean? Without a sore elbow or a sore shoulder or a sore ankle. Know what I mean? I've went into fights with broken toes and broken wrists. So little niggles don't mean nothing to me.
It's fucking bizarre, isn't it? What you can put your body through in it.
It is.
And that's also about like the discipline and the routine that you've got to put into it as well. Yeah. So you're winning fights now, right? So from training and from management that you've got to get into camps and train. Yeah. So what's that like? What's a camp? What's for you? What's training like, and what's your discipline like?
Well, lad, I never used to have any discipline at all. That's something what did hinder me in the past. Know what I mean? I used to be a bad party animal, lad. I used to go out every weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, and then I'd have about 3 hours kip and go in the gym Monday morning and train. Know what I mean? Still feeling the effects of the alcohol and all the other shit over the weekend. So, like, in the past, my discipline is what's got in the way. Like, I become a world champion while I was doing all that. Like, an absolute idiot. You know what I mean? And then I lost my title because I was doing all that. Going out partying and not taking me trade seriously. You know what I mean? I didn't take it seriously. It's when I was on a 9-fight win streak and I was just like, no one can beat me. You know what I mean? I can go out and party as much as I fucking want and no one can beat me.
You started to take it for
granted, exactly. Yeah. And it all come crashing down on me. You know what I mean?
And when you see, like, I've spoke about this many times, I won my first 5 and I thought I was fucking unbeatable. And this is just as an amateur. And I thought, that's it, I'm fucking, and then they get in. And then when I lost one, it was...
It's like a big realization, I know what I mean. At the same, it's weight lifted on your shoulders because you're not unbeaten anymore. But at the same time, it's like more pressure put on you because you've just lost and you need to bounce back in a big way. Yeah, like
but it's the make or break of you then, isn't it? It's like, what is. You've got. See, I remember fighting them years ago. It was like the NABCs. You had to fight twice in one day sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it was like you fight in the morning, then you'd be fighting in the afternoon. Yeah, that was how it was. You never even had much of a break. And I remember being out over the weekend and I'm on fucking trips, fucking MBS, fucking smoking weed, everything. This is like during like just a brief moment of fucking bumping into people. And I knew we had to be up on a Saturday morning to be in Everton Park Sports Centre to fight. I got up and I lost the first one. That was like, it was just useless. Yeah. See, this is what happens. When I'm on form, when I'm training, when I'm disciplined and I'm training harder than the next person, then I've got a chance. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So, what had to change? Was it that loss?
That loss, lad, yeah. That sorted me head out. I started having health problems outside of the cage, you know what I mean? Because I was burning the candle at both ends. Yeah. So I had to sort my shit out, you know what I mean? And, like, recently, to be honest, over the past 2 years is where I've proper switched on and thought to myself, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Sort your head out. Because I had an uncle, well, I've got an uncle, who he lives in Australia now.
Yeah.
But he was unbelievable at football. Like, he played for Aston Villa's first team when he was 16 in the 70s. Like, he was class. And like, my dad always used to say this to me, as you know what dad's like. He threw it all away, lad. He threw it all away. He was unbelievable. And obviously, I never used to believe him until one morning I was sitting there watching Soccer AM, and Peter Reid's on there, and he just got asked a random question: who's the best player you ever played with that never made it? And he said my uncle's name. He went best player by a mile, Frank Pimblett. He was unbelievable. And I told my dad, and my dad was like, "That's because Peter Reid couldn't lace Frank's boots, lad. That's why." But like, I don't want to be another Frank Pimblett, lad.
Yeah.
And I realised that to myself 2 years ago. You know what I mean? I don't want to be another wasted talent in my family. I can't have that. You know what I mean? I don't want that embarrassment. I want us to I want to build on what I've already done, and I'm gonna.
It's hard, isn't it, when you've got youth on your side, right?
Yeah.
And you think you've got the whole fucking world of.
That's
fucking
it. When I won that world title like 5 years ago, I was 21, lad, and it was like I let it all get to me head.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Like, I let it all get to me a bit, where I thought I was better than I was, and I just thought, this is this is that. Know what I mean? Everything was just great, and then I lost, and you realise who the real ones are. Know what I mean? I had loads of Klingons and loads of fucking people just jumping on the bandwagon wanting to be me mate because I was a world champion at the time, and I had a lot of good stuff going for me. And then when I lost, you notice who the ones who actually cared about you are. Know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's your family and your close friends, not these Klingons, and your teammates. Know what I mean? They're the ones what matter.
Yeah, we were talking about that today, me and me mate. About loyalty and that.
Yeah.
If you're loyal to one, you're either loyal to one or you're loyal to none.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, you know what I mean? I've always found that I'm loyal, and I've always found myself like separated from a lot of people because, if once bitten, twice shy. If you fucking mess around, that's it.
I've noticed it even more over the past year, lad. People chatting shit about me, and like some of my closest friends weren't even there for me.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? People who I considered best mates weren't even there for me. Like, and that's why I said now, like, I'm more concerned about my family, lad, and like my closest mates who was there for me through all this shit, and I'm gonna take them to the top with me, lad, when I go to the top.
You've got to, see, it's fucking, you're right about closest mates, and you think, they're there for you, and it's disappointing.
Very disappointing, because, lad, I would have went to the ends of the earth for them. Know
Mad
what I mean?
Innit?
I would have, like, when they were fucking arguing with people and stuff like that, I was there with them, backing them, standing behind them, going, lad, whenever I'm near, know what I mean? And then the roles got reversed and they distanced themselves from me. Yeah. Know what I mean? And it's just fucking... And
that's where you start, like, losing a bit of faith and a bit of trust in people. And then you're thinking, who am I going to have around me that's going to stand on?
That's it. That's what goes through your head, lad. And then, obviously, I've got a... Like I said before, me boxing coach with Chris Williams, lad. Fucking, I've done pure work with him, and like he's my closest mate I've got now. Know what I mean? Yeah. And then like people in the gym like Adam Ventry and me coaching that, they've always supported me. But me mates from Bayars, but there's a lot of people I do just jumped on for the little flutter. Know what I mean? Because it was Paddy the Baddy. Know what I mean? But people like who watching this podcast know me as Paddy the Baddy, lad. But the people who mean something to me, I'm just Paddy. Know what I mean? Or to me family, I'm Patrick. I'm not even Paddy in my family, lad. When my mum and dad hear someone call me Paddy, they're like, it's Patrick.
Yeah. See, I'm not a big follower of like MMA or UFC. I never have been. I got involved in Muay Thai because it was the only sport that I could fucking...
That you could do while I was over
there. I boxed as a kid and I enjoyed it. And it was like, lost dreams awoke when I was over there. My mate said, don't get in. I got in. I enjoyed it. You could punch me all day. I was used to like the brutality of it. And I could deal with all that, but I couldn't deal with like the fucking real world. So it was like my escape. And that's what I lived for. That's what it was. I lived for that. It stood me in good stead, throughout my life. And I think the first time I come across it, I'll tell you when it was, right? I had a Twitter account that got closed down because of we were doing songs, me and my brother, and Sony got in touch with us and told us to turn it in. Right, and so I lost all my followers, but I was following you at the time. Yeah. And I thought, who the fuck's this kid, Paddy the Baddy with the blonde hair, you know what I mean? The fucking blonde hair wig. And then what what it was Curtis Woodhouse.
Yeah.
And yourself, right? So forth. So I followed Curtis, right? Not that I knew, I just followed him because of I respected what he did around that throw.
Yeah.
Right, around he would turn up at his front door. And I followed yourself. And then I seen this like fucking Twitter war.
Yeah, we had a
going on.
back and forth.
What
Like,
was all that? Because they didn't like make much fucking sense
no,
of it. Like,
he done a tweet or something. Any MMA fighter wants to get in there with me. I'll have you a scrap. I'll put 10 grand down. And someone tagged me in it. So I just put back, lad, I'll put 10 grand down and have you a scrap tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because I would have put 10 grand down to winning a 10 grand off him.
Yeah.
And then it just went from there, lad. It just fucking snowballed. And it just carried on. But like, that's why I ended up saying to him, lad, you've become the troll. You know what I mean? You was talking about, you went to someone's house over them being a troll to you, and you're doing it to MMA fighters. I was like, what's going on here?
So he wanted a strainer with an any MMA for it.
Yeah, that's what he said. And I called him out on it. I was like, come ahead, lad, I'll fucking do it with you.
Fucking hell, if you fronted me for fucking 20 quid, I'll get in a ring with you.
That's what I mean, lads. I was like,
fucking
yeah,
skins,
I'll do it.
Know what I
I'll
mean?
do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I ended up going to see him, though, didn't I?
Did you?
He was managing against the Perps in Liverpool. He come down with his team.
Yeah.
So I went down, I was like, what's happening, lad? Know what I mean? But obviously nothing happened. As soon as I walked in, lad, all the security come over to me. I was like, no, don't be daft. I'm not gonna fucking jump over the thing and hit him. Because it was like an FA Cup game, like at one of the qualifying for the FA Cup. So all the heads fell off, but we wouldn't have ended up having a scrap.
No, it's just you're just showing face, aren't you?
Yeah, that's
Turn
it.
up. At the end of the day, you can just like you can shake on it and move on.
Know what I mean? We ended up fucking talking to each other, having a laugh. Know what I mean? But like I said, it was just he became the troll. Know what I mean? Live long enough as the hero, you become the villain yourself, lad.
Yeah, good little quote there. You know what I mean? So you've there's loads of instances. So how do you deal with all that stuff online? You know, trolls. I watched a little bit of you and Molly. How you dealt with the trolls, and I enjoyed that.
Every lad, the amount of people would have mentioned that video to me, and they love it, lad. It's great, but
because it was just straight, quick-witted, and off the cuff, and there you go.
Like, lad, I've been called all sorts online, lad. Know what I mean?
Fucking jump in the queue,
lads. Exactly.
You know
I've been called every name under the sun online, lad. I couldn't even think of a word I haven't been called online. 9 times out of 10, it's behind the counter where they haven't got a picture of themselves or the name. Know what I mean? It's just blag accounts where they talk shit.
Do you think in the early days when you started building the following that you became a little bit sensitive around all that? Because I know I was. You know, when someone said something, I was like, "Fucking hell, that's fucking personal."
Yeah, definitely. When I was younger, I was a lot worse. Lad, even to this day now, sometimes I still bite when I shouldn't. You know what I mean? I'm still half bad for it. Sometimes I'll still bite when I shouldn't. Paul says to me, "What are you doing? You don't need to respond to these idiots." I'm like, "I know I don't," but I'm like half an hour after, when I've calmed down, I'm like, "Why did I even message him back?" You know what I mean?
Because you're in it, then, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then you're just gonna get like, you just feel as if like the anger and the fucking resentments are building up.
It does, lad, and it gets to you. You know what I mean? It eats you inside, and you're like, "Oh my god, I want to fucking punch a wall."
I just go, do you know what? I just kill him with a bit of love now.
That's it. I do, lad. I've realised that over the past little month or two, lad, that I just, like, in my message request, I just laugh at people. Know what I mean? And on Twitter, I just like, "Oh yeah, what a divvy."
I got one yesterday which someone said, he's probably watching this, I don't know who he is, like, but he said, you know, you couldn't box for fucking Sophie and something else. And I was like, I never fucking said I could. You know what I mean? I'm not one to go around saying I'm this, that, and the other. It's well, people start, you know, they just want to like push down buttons, don't they?
They do.
You
like,
know
I had one the other week with a young lad that I shouldn't have even responded to, but I did. And like, people ended up calling me a bully. You know what I mean? Because I responded to him, I got called a bully, and I didn't understand it. You know what I mean? He's on me, telling me he'll come down to he's 17, by the way, and he's telling me he'll come down to my gym and outbox me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come and do it then, lad. And then people, like, he had a big massive nose, lad, know what I mean? So people were sending me pictures of like people that look like him. So I was just sharing them to my story, and I had pure feminists on me, like, "You're bullying a young child."
Yeah.
Like, lad, you've got to be able to give it, to take it.
Yeah.
If you give it, you've got to be able to take it. I've done that for years, lad. Know what I mean? Years though.
Yeah.
Like, from when I was 16, I'll always say it, I was a cheeky little bastard, lad.
Yeah.
Even in the gym, like, I can remember one of the lads in the gym, Colin. I was giving him proper shit. Just I think I was 15 at this time, and he put me in a rear naked choke and put me asleep. Let me go. I got back up and went, and he went, "Lad, I'm not even doing nothing to you anymore." Because obviously I was just, and then like when I was 16, something that got my name out there when I started fighting was there was something called the Cage Warriors Forum, and all MMA fighters were on there and posted stuff on there. And I put something on the amateur forum, and it ended up getting the most views ever on the amateur forum. I just put, I am the best amateur bantamweight in the country. Who can dispute this? And lad, you should have seen the pages of people commenting. And people put, like, I stayed unbeaten at amateur, so people were commenting names, and I was just ticking names off the list. You know what I mean? I was just beating people. And that's why I went pro at 17, because there was no one left for me to beat at amateur, so I had to just go pro.
Yeah. But on the negative side of everyone, like, throwing their judgments and their two bobs worth in, you know, you've got the positives as well. You must have had, like, see, for me, I get 90% affirmation.
Yeah, good messages.
Going,
yeah,
you know what?
Same.
But it's like, you know, you could get 10 boss messages.
And the one message can do your head in.
Yeah, and it's weird, that, isn't it?
It is. Because it's annoying.
You think, fucking hell, doesn't he like me? Or doesn't she like me? Why is she doing that? And I used to be like that. Until the point where I just go, lads, you can't be arsed.
That's it.
Life's too short. I'm only here for a few short decades. I'm just going to enjoy what I've got.
I've grew up a bit now, lad. Like I say, even, lad, it's mad even thinking of myself a year ago. I've grew up so much in a year. Know what I mean? If I would have told myself that when I was 21, I would have been like, oh, shut up, you'd sit. You're an adult already. But I weren't. I was still a child and I was 21, lad. You're
still fucking young, aren't you? And you know, it's like, you know, you're emotionally immature until you do grow up.
Yeah.
You know, and then when you do grow up, you start to ground yourself and think, okay, you know, what's more important? You know, is it me fucking reacting?
Yeah.
But you know, you must get loads of like.
I love it when I get a message off someone saying, you've motivated me to go out and do something today, or you've inspired me to come and, like, I'm a big advocate for people getting stuff off the chest. You know what I mean? Because when I did lose that world title fight to Bach, and everything just felt like it was crumbling around me, you know what I mean? I had surgery 3 months before I fought, and then broke my hand again in the fight, so I had to wait months for surgery. I just felt like everything around me went to fuck, and like I was in a proper deep dark place. I was depressed, or mad thoughts going through my head. So like now, I always encourage people to message me whenever they're feeling low. You know what I mean? Just message me. I've got people who message me from fucking Wales, Scotland, you know what I mean, all over the country and even in Europe. Just like, oh, you're all right, and like I'll talk to anyone, lad. You know what I mean? I'll try and make anyone feel better on any given day. But that's why I need to avoid messaging the trolls back even more. You know what I mean? Because I end up fuming, and then not paying as much attention. Takes time away from the people that are there to, like, they want something to gain from me, something positive, where they just want to do me head in and be negative. You know what I mean? We need to get all the negative shit out of our lives. There's enough of it going on in the world at the minute anyway. Yeah,
and it's always going to happen. We know that, you know, but it's important, and it is nice when you do receive like messages that say, you know, you've inspired me.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like a bit of an imposter sometimes, or a fraud. I think, how have I inspired you? And, you know, what have I done that's helped you change your life? And it's like,
that's what I always say to them. I always say, lad, you think that I've helped you, but you've done this yourself. Yeah. I always say to them, is like, lad, I might have give you a little help, a little push, but you've done all the hard work yourself. Yeah. I haven't been there with you. Know what I mean? You're the one that's got yourself out of bed in the morning. You fucking took yourself to work, or done yourself a workout. Know what I mean? Like, that's what helps drive me on now. Knowing that me fighting and pushing myself is inspiring other people just to get out of bed of a morning, lad. Yeah. Especially the way the world is now, and the highest rate of men dying is suicide.
It is, yeah. And someone mentioned that the other day, you know, when you're feeling depressed and you're feeling low, and how do you cope with it? And for me, you know, it's training.
Yeah.
It is. It's physical training.
It's the same for me. When I get on that mat, no troubles that's going on in the world concern me.
Yeah.
Because I'm focused on sparring or drilling or any technique what I'm doing. Know what I mean? That's what I always say to people. That's why I stay in, not even fitness, but just any sort of training. Like, while you're doing that one thing, even if it's just an hour a day, your troubles are gone.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? You don't have to worry about anything else while you're doing that one thing.
You know, and I understand that there's people out there that, you know, struggle with disabilities as well. So it's like, oh, I can't do that and I can't do this. And I think, you know what? You can. Right? My brother's got autism.
Yeah.
And he can't even fucking get over a little fucking few stepping stones. You know what I mean? Sometimes he struggles with with a lot, but he challenges himself.
Yeah, he gets shit done, lad. I've seen him on your social media, you know what I mean, lad? He gets shit done still.
He's pushing it, and yeah, I get people have got like other disabilities that really limit the movement. But like you said, it's just being a little bit more active in it, communicating. It's not about like, it doesn't have to be physical activity. It's all about you can communicate with someone, pick up the phone.
Exactly, talking to people. Know what I mean? The amount of lads and men, like even one of my mum's cousins, lad, a couple of months ago, hung himself. Know what I mean? Yeah. He had kids, lad. Like, if he would have just spoke to someone, anyone, he would have been, probably would still be, you know.
I've lost count of the people that we lost last year in our family, and also friends. It was quite a difficult year for a lot of people, really.
For everyone, just the way everything obviously panned out, and COVID just taking the world by storm. People were in deep, dark places and didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where, like, I'm glad when I get messages off people saying, "Oh, lad, I've felt so down, and then I've seen your thing." Glad that it gives me the best feeling ever inside.
It's rewarding.
Lad.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. That's more rewarding than any world title.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone saying to me, "Oh, lad, you doing that."
When you're, look, it is what it is. Like, when you're out there and you're giving something back without any motive, without any agenda, and there's nothing in it for you, that's fucking gold.
Yeah.
Right? Someone says to me, "Billy, honest to God, mate, I am inspired. I don't know you from Adam, but you've really inspired me to motivate myself and do something positive." And I think, nice one. It's
it makes you feel brilliant, doesn't it?
I'm glad that I've inspired someone, and I think to myself, how and why do they think I've inspired them? And I think people are like intrigued with human interest stories, hardship. How did you get through it? I don't know whether, I don't think we're any different from anyone else. We just got to keep breathing. We just got to keep moving.
You just got to keep moving forward, keep pushing through it. You know what I mean? Like, I've never had any hardships like you, lads. You know what I mean? Like, you are a motivating person, Bill. You really are. Being in jail in Thailand and stuff like that. That's like...
They were just consequences. They were consequences of my actions. Like you said, Paddy, like, you had a good upbringing and things sort of panned out really well for you. Now, they probably would have for me if I'd have chose... if we talk about choices as a kid, I don't really think we had any or many, or we were given any guidance. There was no...
My dad says the same. My dad's probably a bit older than you. My dad was 60 the other day, you know what I mean? But
he's a lot older, by the
way. My dad says, like, we never had nothing. Like, my dad was raised by his...
Not playing a victim, like...
Yeah, no, not playing... Yeah, but my dad had 3 brothers and he was a twin, you know what I mean? So there was 4 lads. My granddad, his dad walked out when he was like 4 years old, you know what I mean? So they got raised by my grandma on their own, and his grandma lived with them, you know what I mean? So they had nothing, lad, from Page Moss.
Yeah.
Like, he calls us fucking, like, silver spoons just because he had nothing, you know what I mean? He's like, lad, I used to go to school in rugby boots with the studs stuck out of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a bit fucking, it wasn't like it is today, where we've got like loads of services that provide a lot. There was none of that. But that doesn't mean that, the people that have succeeded in life at the same age as me, haven't had the same troubles.
Of course.
For me, it was all the consequences of my own actions. I take responsibility. I fucking created a lot of harm, not only to other people, but to myself, my family, the communities that I've lived in. And it's about, like, what can I give back now? Can I be a benefit?
Yeah.
I fucking sucked it dry for years. Let's fucking give something back. Now, for people that don't and continue to do that and just fucking rinse the living daylights out of their own fucking communities and societies, then I've got no respect for them. People have changed, redemption and all that, but you're still taking backhanders and you're doing things on the side.
Stuff like that.
There's no integrity.
There isn't.
And I see it all the time, and it's like there's a lot. I can get into a little controversial debate around, like what you said about loyalties and friendship and agendas and motives, and what are people raising money for, and are they really raising it for this charity or that charity, or
are they just doing it for their own ego to make themselves look like something?
Fucking, what do you call it, virtue signaling, or throws a few bouquets because look what I'm fucking doing. And there's a lot of that on social media.
Social media is terrible for it. I hate it when you see people giving homeless people stuff and the video on them. Like, lad, how patronising do you want to be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's sitting on a corner, lad, he's got nothing, and then you're going over to him, giving him something and making him feel this big by videoing him, lad. It's proper out of order.
It is,
And
you
people
know,
just do it for Instagram and Twitter.
and I think for those that are aware and understand that it's just an attention fucking craving.
Exactly what it is.
Uh,
Like the kid, like it's mad, lad. The kids nowadays, lad, everything's for social media.
yeah,
Like I put a thing on my Instagram like 2 days ago. People buy stuff with money they haven't got to impress people they don't know.
yeah.
You know what I mean? People get in debt now to buy a pair of trainees what are like £600 and a coat what's like 12 ton because they want to impress someone that they don't even know on social media. You know what I mean? I don't get that, me lad. I never have.
We spoke about this, me and a friend a few months ago about image orientation. You know, to fit in.
Yeah.
You know, the clubber that you've got to get on to be a part of something.
It's mad, innit? No,
like, look what you're talking. You're talking like what? T-squared fucking club.
All that. Like I don't get none of that. I've
Mm.
never understood going and spending £350 on a top what you're gonna wear 4 times.
Yeah.
I don't get it. You know what I mean? I like these brands, lad, off people who I know on Instagram, know what I mean? I like brands like this, lad, what are nice and comfy. I'm not going to ODs and spending fucking 12 ton on a t-shirt and a pair of jeans. Fuck that.
If you've got it, then if you've
got it, but that's what I mean. Most people,
but if you're putting yourself in debt for it,
people are putting themselves in debt for it in this city. I know, like, people who've done it.
There's kids who are getting groomed as well. That's what I see as well. You know, it's nationwide, isn't it? That there's kids that are doing things that they wouldn't normally do just to have those items.
Yeah, and to impress people.
And then it leads. See, this is where it is. I do a lot with knife crime, and it leads to other things. You know, the temptation, the drugs, the money, the clothes, the women. Fucking hell, you know, it's ultimately prison.
Yeah, it is.
And I know you haven't been to prison, and I don't think you will go.
I fucking hope not.
You'll get what's it called? Email a prisoner now. Fucking hell.
My brother's been and my dad's been, lad. I don't need to join that list.
No, it's shit. And for anyone who's contemplating that way of life, it's fucking you just mega bang up now and just loads of fucking. It is. It's prison now, right? Is like just full of mental health.
Yeah.
Crazy fucking mental health, and people don't give a fuck. You know. So I wouldn't recommend that to anyone. So yeah, it's a good little topic.
It is. That is a very good topic. You know what I mean? I think kids should be educated on stuff like that in school, and they're not. You know what I mean? Nowadays, getting taught stuff that people getting taught 60 years ago, what's outdated. You know what I mean? Where they should be talking about like modern society and stuff like that, what's going on in the world, and they should be educating kids on stuff like that and not.
So when you were on your party days, right? What was your drug of choice when you were out there? It's mad because you're young, aren't you? You think with the youth you've got an air of arrogance, and you
think you're unbeatable. You know what I mean? You think you're invincible. For me, it was like ket and tablets. You know what I mean? Because I was a party head. Like go out and I'd just be dancing for hours. You know what I mean? And
did you find yourself wanting more? Or did the party fucking ever end? Was it one of those, the party was a little bit longer than everyone else's?
Slightly, like my mates are still bad for it now, lads. I swear, even though we're in lockdown, some of my mates end up in kitchens for 2 days, lad. Know what I mean? So I'm glad I have.
Talking about businesses.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad I turned the corner, lad. Know what I mean? And like I say, it wasn't just. I didn't just decide to do it. Know what I mean? I had health problems because of it, and I had to sort my head out. I was worrying my family and my fiance and my closest mates. Know what I mean? Who was sitting in hospitals with me when I was fucking in a bad way, and I had to just sort my head out. Not even just my life out, lad. I had to sort my head out, lad, and fucking start living my life like an actual athlete. Because at the time, I was, like I said before, I was burning the candle at both ends, lad. I was going out partying 2 days a weekend, and then I was coming in the gym on the Monday morning off hardly any sleep. And then I was training 5 days, and then I was going back out on the weekend again for another 2 nights, lad.
Justifying a 5 days training.
Exactly. Oh, I've trained hard this week, I can do that. Know what I mean?
Your recovery's a bit quicker because you're younger. And
my metabolism was flying back then, And then as you get older, you realise, know what I mean? You need to sort it out.
Yeah, see, like, sometimes I don't know whether I regret like not going any further than I did, but when I was younger I was like really disciplined, Paddy, you know what I mean? I didn't smoke, I didn't fucking drink, I didn't take drugs till the age of 16, you know, and that's quite fucking old in fucking Liverpool,
Yeah,
especially on the council
to be
estate.
honest there, I was the same, to be honest there, about that
16,
age.
17,
Yeah,
give or
about
take.
15, 16 for us it was.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
the minute it did take something, I was down. I
Same.
fucking I went downhill.
I think that's what it's like for everyone in this city,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Once you, like you were saying before, the bandwagon. Once
Yeah.
you were on the bandwagon, lad, that was it, lad. You were out. You were doing what everyone else was doing. That's the only thing with this city. What is, I think, is quite bad. Like, a trend comes along,
Yeah.
and everyone jumps on it. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to be a part of this trend. At the minute, it's conspiracies and
Yeah.
the Queen's a lizard. You know what I mean? And she drinks baby blood. That's the new one. Everyone's jumped on.
Yeah. We live in a fucking bit of a scatty world, like, innit? That you go down that rabbit hole and.
That's what I mean. You go down that
And
rabbit hole.
I find myself jumping on YouTube and I'm fucking searching aliens and I'm watching.
I love watching.
Joe Rogan,
Yeah, same. I love watching.
I think that Bob Lazar on Joe Rogan, he's telling the truth. I might believe it. How the fuck, right? Does he not like? Does anyone not believe what he's saying?
Yeah,
Because he's very descriptive, isn't he?
that's the thing. No, like people like that, the brainwashers,
Yeah,
and they convince you. Know what I mean? There's a few people like that in this city, lad, who brainwash kids and tell them that this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. And like all these kids now think that 5G has caused coronavirus. And that the Illuminati are running the world.
and I think the weed's got a fucking big part to play.
Oh yeah, it has. The weed has got a big part to play.
Once you start smoking that and you're sitting there and you're talking with your mates,
bits of psychosis, and it just comes in. And you just start talking, rambling on.
Yeah, and everyone believes fucking everyone else's story.
Yeah,
so it becomes a little bit of like. So I just think, look, we're here for a few short decades. Fucking
make the most of it. Know what I mean? Don't start worrying about stuff that's never gonna bother us. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're in Liverpool, we don't have to worry about stuff what's happening in America and stuff like QAnon. Know what I mean? All this madness. That's nothing to do with us. That's to Trump and Biden, lad.
Yeah.
That's all over in America. We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's fucking hell. But we make ourselves busy, don't
Yeah, we do.
I'll
be honest, I enjoy watching a few videos about it. It makes me laugh. Know what I mean?
I've gone through those phases of like what do I watch.
Yeah.
And it was like the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories.
All the Bilderberg group,
5G,
all that shit.
Yeah, I've gone down a fucking Trump.
Yeah.
You know, the whole backstory of him, the Korean fucking mafia.
The dictator.
Mate, I've gone through every dictator. And then I've just got to a full circle where I think, fuck it, just watch a box set.
Yeah.
I can't be asked.
I've done that, lad, where like you go down the rabbit hole and you think, oh, this could be right. But then you look at it properly and you're like, these are just people like me sitting in the bedroom making videos. Yeah. They can do what they want. You know what I mean? Lad, anyone can make a video now to make it look like what they want. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone made a video about me a couple of months ago and tried to make it look like I was something that I weren't. You know what I mean? And the way they made it was a proper conspiracy theory video and it looked real. You know what I mean? And then
there's a lot of that on YouTube at the minute.
Oh, lad, tell me about it.
There's a lot of like fucking podcast wars and fucking. It's fucking bizarre. Paddy, I don't get involved, mate.
I try not to, know what I mean? Try not to get involved anymore. You know, like I said, I've grew up a lot over the past year, 18 months, and I just like to laugh half it off now and ignore it. You know what I mean? Don't even get involved, because as soon as you give it a little bit of attention, everyone else is like, what's that? You know what I mean? So just leave them to talk shit, lad. I'm the one that's going to be the fucking...
That's it. And you've seen my setup, lad. I'm here on my own and fucking throw these mics together. I keep looking at the camera because people say, why are you looking at me?
Make sure it's still recording.
Make sure it's fucking still on. You know what I mean? You know, and I enjoy it. You know, it's like it's very therapeutic when I communicate with people, because, like I said to you before, I've got no questions, Pat. What I'll do is I'll just turn up and I'll identify with a few things and I'll bring a little bit of my own experience into it and then see where we go with it.
Yeah.
I think it's more transparent. It's all,
I do.
It's all
like I said, as I said to you, whenever I done my podcast, I can remember my coach telling me I should have some questions and have it a bit scripted, but it doesn't feel as authentic for me then. Know what I mean? Just like us here now, we're having a belter conversation. It just flows. And that's what I think's better with it, with podcasts. I don't think... Like Joe Rogan, he doesn't script nothing. No. You know what I mean? He just sits there and smokes a blunt and talks to as guests.
That's you know, and he's fucking flying, and
Flying.
You know,
Got the best Spotify deal you've ever seen.
Yeah, fucking hell, not half. You know, you've got
That's what we want in a few years. Like we want a deal like that.
You've got top podcasters in the UK. You know, like True Geordie.
Yeah,
brilliant. You've been on the True Geordie as well, haven't you?
I've been on his knockout podcast where we watch the UFC live. Know what I mean? He's a proper sound fella, the True Geordie.
He's got Brian. Yeah, he's got into a few. He's got right into the sport bit.
Yeah, he has the kick-off with the footy games. Yeah. He has the UFCs on the boxing, and he plays on the Xbox and that as well now on there.
Does he?
Yeah.
Look at that, he's flying then.
He's flying. But who's the other podcast? Is it James English?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who's always doing loads of stuff, and he's out there. He must be earning some money off his podcast now.
James is a good kid. I know. I got interviewed by James a couple of years ago, and
I've never met him. Know what I mean? I've never met him. Every and I hear of him. He's a proper nice lad.
Yeah, I speak to him regularly, and you know what? He is. He's very down to earth, and he'll help you if he can.
Yeah,
you know, and that's what it is. It's a business. He's just fucking doing what he does, and I respect that. You know, and he's the one who encouraged me to start this, because I got told, you know, he asked me a couple of years ago, but I wouldn't, you know, I didn't know what the fuck to do.
Same. I didn't. When a few people said to me, "Oh, Paddy, you should do a podcast.
Every fucker's doing them.
I know everyone's doing them now, so I thought, yeah, go on, I will. And I started it. But obviously with COVID, I haven't been able to do any more episodes because, as you know, like, I don't like doing them over Skype.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as authentic as we were saying before, like the way we're
Zoom
seeing out.
Zoom
and that. It's not the same. I like sitting with someone and having a proper in-depth conversation with them and talking about stuff, and I think it just comes across a lot better. So I'm waiting to carry on with mine until then.
Yeah.
Like I just don't think they're the same over Skype and over Zoom.
No, I done one in Nevada on a Skype with this fight chase, and I fucking poured my heart out, and I gave them the fucking Pulitzer Prize winning story, and I went for fucking ages. Lad, I was on the phone, and it must have went on for about 90 minutes, and I was like, yeah, hey man, it was fucking awesome, and he put the phones on, and then he got back in touch with me half an hour later. Said, "Oh man, you ain't gonna like this."
Wasn't recording.
It wasn't recording, and I just thought, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" But they've been on my case to do another one, and you know, I keep saying and I keep looking back and pulling back on the experience of like the time that I gave them. But you know what? We do make mistakes, and I've done it myself. See, when I first started, I interviewed 3 guests in one day on my own, right? And out of the 3, only one of the podcasts worked, you know. And I was like, lads, I have to phone them up and go, look.
That's why I was lucky with mine, because like I said, I'm not technology savvy at all. I should be, because I'm a young lad, you know what I mean? I'm 26. Like, I should be technology savvy and know what I'm doing with everything. I don't even know what I'm doing on my own Instagram, lad, at times. You know
I don't. Some people say, what about the show reels? And I don't know.
People are like,
stories.
I don't link onto your story there. I had to get someone to tell me how to do that yesterday. I don't even know how to do that. Where you swipe up. So when I done my podcast, I had to, luckily enough, the lads at Slide Away Records helped me. And they were doing all the editing for me and all that, because I don't know what I'm doing, lad. I can't even set a laptop up, never mind. Try and edit a video.
I'm quite lucky. My partner's brother, John, thanks John, he does all the editing for me on this, which is ideal, because he's in like college doing a social media or some kind of stuff with media anyway.
Lad, that's the way forward now, lad. People are earning money off social media.
So I'm grateful that I've got someone in my corner doing that side of things, you know, and you know, it is. I don't really know what a fucking, you know, I make mistakes with the microphones. You know, people saying in the early days, I don't even know if it's still fucking shit.
I know. Whenever being on Brian's one, I'm like, he's like, pull that mic a bit closer. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I just think you can hear me.
I know, I've got people who sit there and they're out there, and it's like the whispering. So, you know, we learn, and hopefully going forward, you know, I've got some really good fucking guests. You know. One of the crazy henchmen, which is, you know, he's been in touch. I spoke to him, a few other people in the pipeline. But what I want to do, Pat, is I don't want to get guests that everybody else is at. Yeah. You know, all the time, and go on that fucking merry-go-round. Oh, he's at him, and fucking Brian or James at him, and now Billy's got him. Yeah. You know, so, you know, I've been on loads, and I've told my story fucking so many times that I'm sick to death of it, you know, telling my own story. So I thought, I'll come on and I'll listen to someone else's, but at the same time I can relate, I can identify You know what I mean?
Like that's what I mean. That's like this podcast has been boss like, because it's a different feel to most of the other ones. Like I say, most of the other ones that they're like, how'd you get into MMA? How'd you do this? And they ask the same, as you said, they ask the same generic questions, and you're given the same answers all the time. You think if someone would have watched
scripted yourself,
if someone would have read the podcast, watched the podcast from the other week, they'd know all the answers to this question.
See, that's what I don't do. I don't research.
Yeah.
Right? I think, you know what, for anyone who's going to start it, well, maybe they feel they need to, but any guest that I've ever had, I don't research them, because I think I'll know too much about them. And what I want to do is I want to hear from you.
First hand, as you're talking about
you're
it.
You're telling me,
exactly.
So Paddy, I don't go, right, I'm going to have a fucking quick scan and go, right, Paddy's done this, Paddy's done that, right? I know Paddy on Twitter had a fucking bit of beef with Curtis Wardhouse, and he's won a good few fights, and, you know, people are ambivalent about him. They love and hate him. That's it.
Yeah.
Let me hear Paddy's story now. You know what I mean? And you've come on, and it's just that's how it should be.
Yeah, that is how it should be.
I mean?
It just feels better, I think. You know what I mean? I don't like that scripted stuff. It's like the news, then.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's like the news.
Yeah, you're fucking shitting there with questions and little pinpoints and bullet points, and yeah. Well, you know, if it works for some,
yeah.
And I don't know whether that's because it's how you interview. I fucking in front of a camera years ago, and still today sometimes I get self-obsessed. Have you ever done that one where you've got you're trying to do a little Insta vid or a video for fucking...
I hate doing the selfie camera video, me talking to the camera.
And
I
then
hate doing that.
Yourself.
Yeah.
I must edit it about fucking 10 times. I don't like that one. Fuck that,
you sound like me bird, lad.
Like that. I've got to change that one.
My bird takes a selfie and goes, oh, I'm going to have to do it again. Oh, I don't like my ear on that, I'm going to have to do it again. Oh, my ear's in the way, going to have to do that, lad. I have to get about 14 selfies before she gets one she likes.
That's it, you know what I mean? And that's just because of our own vanity.
Yeah,
you know,
that's it.
Our own little bits of, like, our own ego and that. All right, so going forward now, what are your plans with your career? So
well, as people can probably tell, I'm looking quite skinny. I'm normally I've only got cheeks out here, me lad, looking all chubby. But yeah, I'm fighting in 3 weeks. 3 weeks on Saturday, and I can't wait, lad.
Yo, this fight will probably be done by the time this goes out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Well, lad, I just can't wait to fight. Like I say, and my weight's nice and low. Everything's going pit. Like I said, I'm more professional now. When I won the world title, I was cutting like 7 to 8 kilos overnight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was losing that in water weight.
In one night?
In one night.
7 to 8?
7 to 8 kilo. Like, I watched me fight back the other day when I won the world title. And knowing, like, you get you to go together and, like, look at each other at the start and touch gloves, lad, I looked at my stomach and his was like, I had a gut. It's like, fighting at 66 kg there, and I've got a gut. What's going on? And, like, it just showed how much weight I was actually cutting. Like, that time, I went and got it. When I fought Nad Narimani, I went and got a DEXA scan in the university. And they give me a DEXA scan, and he got on, like, I didn't know this until a couple of months ago when my nutritionist and S&C coach Paul Reed told me. I was 0.2 kilo of water weight loss away from having kidney failure.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. I had the testosterone in my body of a 12-year-old boy, and I still fought 5 rounds the next day. You
must have been fucking really weak.
I was fucked.
Yeah.
I went into that, know what, in that fight, in the changes, you wanted to smell the burps and the farts I was doing. Yeah. Oh, I think it's gastroenteritis. I went into that fight with gastroenteritis, lad, I was burping and farting, it stunk of egg.
See, like, people don't realise what you put your body through.
They don't. People think you train, you turn up and you fight, you don't.
It's the diet's important.
Lad, I always say, we get paid to weigh in.
Yeah.
We get paid to make weight and get on them scales. We all enjoy fighting.
Yeah.
Everyone who does MMA likes getting in the cage, but it's the sacrifices before it. And that's what I never used to do. I never used to take the sacrifices seriously before it. I used to, like I say, go out and party. I used to just eat shit. Like when I fought a Yank called Julian Arosa, and 4 weeks before that fight, I was in a cave in Wales with decks and a generator.
Yeah.
Like that. You know what I mean? And I got a phone call. You're fighting this Julian Arosa, aren't you? Well, one of my mates. I'm like, am I? You know what I mean? I didn't even know. I was like, am I fighting Julian Arosa? Yeah, it's sound. I'm back in training Monday then, aren't I? And I had 4 weeks to get ready. That fight, I lost 8.4 kilo overnight.
Wow, fucking hell.
And then after I won the fight, I won the first 3 rounds, gassed. I lost the last 2. But obviously I won 3 rounds to 2. And at the end of the fight, I spewed up in the cage, where my body just couldn't keep it in anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's fucking dangerous, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It is.
people don't realise what you like I said, what you're going through. So, who's your role model in the is it like either whether it's MMA or UFC? Is that where you want to go, the UFC eventually?
When I win this fight, lad, I'm going the UFC. I'm going. You know what I mean?
So who would you be up against in your weight category in the UFC?
Well, at the minute I'm at lightweight.
Yeah.
I'm fighting at lightweight, but as I say, me weight I used to fight at featherweight, but I wasn't doing it professionally.
Yeah.
And then I had a few health scares, so I went up to 70. So I fight at lightweight. But now, right now, 3 weeks out, I'm 77 kilo.
Yeah.
Some fighters who fight at lightweight are this the night before.
Yeah.
And then they cut 7 kilo to make the weight. So when I go to UFC, I'm going to get another DEXA scan and stuff like that and see how my body type is now, because I have got bigger. My legs are a lot bigger off all that. When I won my belt, I never used to do S&C at all. It was just all MMA training. Now I do a lot of S&C and stuff like that. So I'm going to have to get another DEXA scan, but I'm hoping that I can still make featherweight and I can go down to featherweight and fight at 66, because I am more professional now and I've got my head screwed on.
It's a lightweight, isn't it? 66 kg.
Yeah, and
you're quite tall as well, really.
That's what I mean. For the weight, I'd be very tall. I've got big legs, you know what I mean? I'll have range on people. So when I go to UFC, I want to go down to feather, but like I said, I'm not gonna fuck me health up to go down to feather.
I think you'd be killing yourself to get that weight. I would have fucking out. Yeah.
That's what I mean. At the minute now, 3 weeks out, 7 key to go, less than 7 key to go, lad. For an MMA fighter, that's perfect. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like I say, I need to speak to my nutritionist, Paul Reed, and he'll let me know if my body can get to 66 anymore. Because as you know, the last time I made that, I was 22. So I'm 4 years older now. I've done a lot of growing up, not just mentally but physically in the past 4 years.
So we've got a lot of talent as well in Liverpool, haven't we?
Yeah, a lot of talent, especially fighting sports.
Yeah. Who would you say in Liverpool's either up and coming or doing it right now?
Well, lad, I have to say little Brandon.
Brandon. Is that Brandon Diord?
Brandon Diord, lad.
Yeah, I've seen him on the Insta.
He's fought no pro, but he hasn't fought for 2 or 3 years. He's had a lot of shit going wrong for him, but lad, like I said before, training with professional boxers and Chris Williams, our coach, lad, Brandon's a little freak of nature, lad.
Is he?
He's a little freak. The other day he done 13 miles.
Wow.
And every mile was under 7-minute miles.
Was it?
6:45. Lad, he's a little freak. I've sparred with him. And I've sparred with heavyweights. I've sparred with light heavyweights.
Yeah.
And he hit me a few months ago with the hardest punch I've ever been hit with. Lad, he weighs 56 kilo. Yeah. You know what I mean? Him and Liam Moon as well, lad. They're two of the lads that I train with in the boxing gym every day.
You've done a bit of training with Joe Mack as well, haven't you? In
the Rotunda. Joe's boss, lad. But
I've seen him
when I was training with Joe, it was when COVID kicked in. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I haven't been able to go back to Joe for that amount of time because obviously you can only have certain people in the gym training with him.
Yeah, there's a few like Darren Till. I've never really Darren's in the UFC.
Yeah, he's in the UFC. Lad, to be honest, I've never really we've led on to each other. You know what I mean? I've never really sat down and spoke to Darren.
I've
never met him myself, lad, so I can't say it.
You haven't got an opinion
on I haven't got an opinion on him, you know what I mean?
Fair play. And besides like fighting talent, we've got a lot of musical talents as well as a lot of
Jamie, lad.
Who's Jamie?
Jamie Webster.
Is he?
My mate Jamie, lad. He's got one of the studios over there.
Has he?
Have you not listened to his album?
No, you'll have to get me.
Definitely Get By, some of his songs.
I might have. I've got it there.
Weekend in Paradise. Weekend in Paradise is the Scouse song you've ever heard. It just describes my mate every weekend.
The Rats, you know what I mean? That's who I've heard. Fucking Joe from the Rats.
One of my other mates, it's mad because my mate Kyle Wilson, he's from ours. He's from by ours. He lives around the corner from me still to this day. He was the one who showed me UFC.
Yeah.
He showed me a fight, Clay Guida versus Diego Sanchez.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's sick, that. And then it was through him, he knew someone called Joe Neal who trained. And I went to Next Gen because of him.
Yeah.
And now he's got a band himself called The Sonda.
Has he?
Yeah, and he's doing big things with his band.
I think music and fighting go hand in hand, don't
they? Yeah, they do.
I've got a nephew, I'm going to give him a shout out, yes. Suspect, he does a lot of rapping and it's fucking, it's just, I think there's a lot of wasted talent as well.
Yeah, there is. In Liverpool, there's so much wasted talent.
I think our accent fucks us up a bit, don't
it? Yeah, it does. You're right there.
Let's have it right.
I've got a mate there, lad. Dale. When I say he was unbelievable at football, I mean we'd play on the park and he'd just skin us all and take the piss out of us all. And he was so good at football, lad. And luck just didn't go his way, lad. Like he never got that break where other people do. Like we watch footy now, and there's some players who he played with playing in like League One in the Championship, and he was better than them. And it's like, that's what I mean. He works on site now every day, works away. Know what I mean? So like, I want to do it not just for myself. I want to do it for all my mates, lad, who've supported me. Like I've got like 6-7 close friends who've been there for me from day one. From not from the gym, just like 6 or 7 close friends who've grew up with. Know what I mean? And through thick and thin, lad, they've stuck with me no matter what. And
not
like,
the hanger-ons and not the fucking...
know what I mean? All the hanger-ons have all fucked off, all the Klingons, but these like 7 are still there to this day. And I'm not just going to do it for me family and me fiance and me teammates. I'm going to do it for them as well, know what I mean? Because they're the ones who stuck by me. Like, obviously, my name exploded 5 years ago when I become a champion at 21, and I said Scousers don't get knocked out. Everyone went bananas over that, know what I mean? But the biggest things are still yet to come from me, and I'm glad I lost when I did, and it's because that helped me stay grounded. I think I would have, not into the stratosphere of Conor, but where everything went to Conor's head. Yeah. I think I could have got like that.
You McGregor?
Yeah. Where everything got to his head and money got to him and stuff like that. I think if I would have carried on the trajectory I was on, I could have got like that. Yeah. And I could have been badly off the rails doing all madness. So I'm glad that I didn't go to UFC when I did, and I've sat it out a bit.
Do you think he's finished now after his last fight?
No, don't think he's finished. I think people call him finished around the bend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he has got that much money in the bank where he can just chill. Like, it's different for him and Poirier, who we fought. Like, Poirier needs the fight to get his money and help his charities and that. But like, Conor, he's still got that power in that hand, lad. His left hand is dynamite. You know what I mean? And he can knock anyone out with one shot.
What would you say your best asset was when you're in the ring?
My jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? I'm very flexible and very weird on the floor. You know what I mean? You can't train to fight me. Yeah. You just can't. Like, I'm that weird and throw that many unorthodox. Get me leg behind me head, lad. You know what I mean? I can get me feet anywhere and get me body underneath.
So you just twist them right up.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I like it.
But like, like I said, over the past year, lad, I've had to focus more on my boxing. I had to get hand surgery again. So where I got hand surgery, I couldn't grapple. So I was just focusing on.
Is that what you were doing with Joe Mack and that?
Yeah, focusing on my boxing and my footwork.
Yeah, because one of the lads who was used to train with said he's just seen you in there and he was doing a lot of pad work.
Yeah.
Molly was in there as well.
Yeah, Molly's always in there as well.
Always in there. Yeah, that's, I think, the importance. You know, you know, you mixed martial arts, UFC.
You've got, that's what I mean. You've got to be well rounded. Yeah, like a couple of years ago, I didn't have much striking, and a lot of people like called me out on it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not, but that's why I can't wait to fight my next fight, lad, and I'm gonna fucking knock him out, lad. Yeah, I can't wait.
The power's there, is it?
It's there. Like I said, I've grew into my man body now. I'm a man. Know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a growth spurt till I was about 16, lad. Like, I was always the smallest kid in school. In card leaning, I was the smallest kid. Know what I mean? I was always small, dead skinny. Yeah. And then, like, I've only grew into my man body over the past 18 months. And now I feel like a different animal to what I was when I won that belt when I was 21. Like, if me now fought that kid at 21, I'd fucking kill him. Like, literally on the floor, wrestling and standing, I'd fucking kill him.
How far, right, is a good one, right? How far, or how long do you think it'll be before you're at the top? Because this is what you want. You want to be at the top. There's no fucking ifs or buts about it.
No, there isn't. Well, lad, like I say, like, people love fighting Scousers, lad. Yeah. And just look at Till. Till went to UFC, had 1 or 2 fights, had an interview. Lad, I know as soon as I have one interview, my name's going to go, whoa. You know what I mean? One interview, finish the next fight, post-fight interview, start talking shit, just where the adrenaline's going mad in my body. You know what I mean?
You're just fronting everyone.
Yeah, and I know it will, lad. Yeah. I know I'm gonna, lad. I just know I'm gonna be a global star.
Yeah. Well, I like your confidence and I like your positivity, and it's that's fucking what we need, isn't it? You know, because we are what we tell ourselves.
That's it. If you tell yourself that I'm not going to be nothing, I'm not going to do this, then that'll happen. You've got to think to yourself. Yeah. Like, there's a quote that I love: if people don't laugh at your dreams aren't big enough.
Yeah, I've had that done to me.
People laugh at me when I say stuff, and I'm like, you can laugh, lad. Know what I mean? You're not the one doing it. I'm the one doing it. I'm the one that's gonna fucking do it and prove you all wrong.
I've had it, Pad. You know, when I said, we're going to write a book, and my mate was going, yeah, all right, Sam.
Yeah.
I said, I am, you know. He said, yeah, nice one. I used to get in his van every week and say, I'm nearly finished with that. He said, okay, Sam.
Good one.
From my mate, right, Podge, and I pulled it out one day. I said, that book, you know. And he looked at me and he went, lad, I just thought you were just round the bend, you know what I mean? And I went, no, this or I said, I want to make a movie about it now. And he went, he said, I believe you. You know, so I I was quite positive in that area back then, but the older I get, the more like relaxed I've become. But I had an ambition, you know, and I had passion, and I said I want to write this, and I want to have it as a fucking feature film, and it became what it became, you know. And I've written a second one now, and that gets released in June, which is fucking hell. You've wrote 2 autobiographies, and you haven't even hit the age of 50.
Yeah,
you know, what have you got to write about? Yeah, I think it's just the fucking crazy way of living, you know, and I hope it helps other people come to like terms with a lot of things in life, because that's what it's about. Our experience in life is the pathway for the youth behind us. So you're at an age now where there's kids coming up in school, and you know, my partner's brother Paddy, he's big on fucking MMA and UFC. He's 17 and he wants to get involved. You know, and I've took him to a few interviews, took him to meet Mark Diakis through the week, and Mark, you know, fucking respect to Mark. He's from the Congolese. And
Mark's a good lad. I've met Mark plenty of times. I've sparred with Mark in the past. Mark's a nice fella. He is. He's a really nice dude.
And it's great that we had a little bit of a chat and that. You know, and I respect where he's come from and what he's doing with his life, and how he gives what he earns.
I was just about to say, he gives back, doesn't he? He's doing stuff in the Congo now, isn't he? Helping them out. That's fucking brilliant. To be honest, that's what I want to do in the future, lad. I want to give back to my own community. I want to give back to fucking Iton and to Greystone and to all the areas around there. I want to help the kids from around there believe in themselves, that just because you're from around here doesn't mean you have to go into a dead-end job and do this. You can make whatever you want of your life.
Yeah.
And like your autobiography is doing that for people, lad. People are reading that thinking, if he's got through all this hardships, then I can.
I get people who say, look, I want to write a book. Because, you know, for me, when I wrote it, Pat, I want to be straight, right? I wrote it, and I could write anything I wanted to, right? Because no one's going to fucking know. I could have wrote, I was the artist, going right. And I thought, you know what, Bill, you've read books in prisons and, you know, where the fucking bench sells doors and they've knocked screws out all day long. You got it. And you hit the fucking floor and you saw stars. Tell the truth, lad.
Yeah.
Right, so I thought, okay. And then you change your fucking religion to Islam because you were starving. Right, tell the truth. Don't feel... And the biggest fear was falling in love with this fucking fella called Tiffany. Right? Tell the truth. So I wrote it, right? Paddy, and I was thinking, all the lads are going to judge me. They're fucking going to start roaring off me. But you know what it was? I told the truth. And the honesty was more attractive.
Yeah, it resonates. People love honesty.
Do you know what? I felt like that, you know, Bill. I got it, you know, and I did feel that fear. Because I can go into a fight and I'll have all that fight and flight going on. Whether it's in the street, on the landings, in a fucking ring, I've got it going on, Paddy, right? And but I do it anyway.
Yeah, like the way you said there, the honesty. Like I noticed that myself when I started to be on. Like obviously when I was in a dark place myself, I kept it bottled in for a few months. Because like we're meant to be fighters. We're meant to be big, tough fellas that can get through.
That's what we've been.
That's what we've been. Yeah. That's the persona we get given.
Yeah.
But like after a few months, I had to, like, it's mad. Once you talk to someone, it does seriously feel like a weight comes off your chest, and you're just like, why didn't I speak to someone sooner? And then you talk to someone else, and then like when I ended up doing like a video talking about it, just saying, oh, being in a bad place, the amount of messages I got of people saying, oh, lad, just hearing someone like you say that makes me feel so much better. And like I said, messages like that, lad, where people are saying, oh, I was going to do this to myself the other night, but I never, because I heard what you were saying, lad. That's better than any world title to me, lad.
It is, yeah.
It is. Like, helping another human being out is better than self-loathing for myself.
Yeah, because it's easy to fucking get into victim mode, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know? That's what, for the first few months after I lost that fight, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have went into that fight, broken hand, waking up, crying and that, thinking, oh, why did I do that, this and that, blaming this, blaming that, and then, like I said, I just got into a deep, dark place and I had to pull myself out of there, and talking to other people helped me do that.
We're great at volunteering for a bit of pain, aren't we?
Yeah, we
Fucking
are.
hell, put my hands up for that. I want more. You know what I mean? I've had it. Paddy, where I've been in the fetal position on the floor, throwing fucking music on that are sad songs because of the way I feel, and I just, mate, and I think, fucking hell. I've never took an antidepressant, like, off a doctor, but...
Yeah, same,
you know,
neither have I. I've never took an antidepressant.
I've fucking medicated myself with fucking bevies and fucking drugs, you know what I mean?
Done it with
and that's just a shame. You know,
I've done it with pot, lad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've done it in the past, and it just makes it worse. You know what I mean? Like, it does. And
you're in the public eye now, right? And you have been for quite some time, right? So it's a big thing. Like, you've got to keep a clean cut fucking image, you know what I mean? And that, you know, the party and stuff, you know, that's got to end, doesn't it? You know, because otherwise people do this. And, you know, but what's the cut-off point there? Where do you enjoy yourself? How do you, you know what I mean? How do you get that balance?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I still enjoy going out and having a bevy with my mates, but I don't touch nothing anymore. Like, nothing. There's no point, because I've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah,
you know
I think the last time I saw you was in the Baltic market. Yeah, I was there doing a few things back then.
When the whale was normal.
When the whale was normal. Trying to fucking open a few things up. Start a few businesses, but never had the money. You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, you know, that's it. We've got to keep going forward. But yeah, we're coming to the end, right? Now, what I say to everyone, all my guests, Paz, you know, is there anything you'd say, any pearls of wisdom, you know, from your years of youth, right, that you'd offer someone coming through those doors now, like a younger Paddy Pimblett? What would you say to him?
Don't think you know it all.
Keep it simple.
When I was 21, lad, I thought I knew it all. Yeah. I did. I thought I was a grown man. I thought no one can tell me to do this, no one can tell me to do that. I'm the boy. I know everything. You know what I mean? You got to listen to other people, lad.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I had health scares, some of my closest mates and my coach and my family were all like, you need to stop doing this. And I was like, no, it's not that, it's not that, it's not that. Yeah. And like, just didn't listen to anyone. You've got to listen to the people around you, especially the ones who care about you, lad. Because at the same time, like I was saying, I had loads of Klingons. I had like me mates who cared about me, and my family and my fiance and that saying, "Oh, you're doing, you need to sort your head out." And then I had the Klingons like, "You coming out? You coming out with us? You're doing this, you're doing that." And like, that's when I have started to realise. I was like, wow, well, all my closest mates and my family and that were all right about these people. And then people started to drop off, and they're still there. Yeah. And that's what, like, you've got to have loyal people around you, lad. Yeah, like, you need to know who the loyal ones are, because a lot of people, I noticed that over the years, a lot of people were just mates with me to get into nightclubs, to get stuff for cheaper. You know what I mean? To let me.
Paddy's my mate.
You know what I mean? Where I know my mates by ours don't go round, like Sam and Jack and Mary and that, they don't go round to people going, he's my mate, he's my mate. No, I've grew up with them, lad. They don't go round saying, if they hear someone talking shit about me, then they will say, what are you on about, lad? You know what I mean? He's my mate. But they won't be walking around going, I'm Paddy The Baddy's mate, like some of these beauts was years ago.
My mate said it to me. He said, like, you know, if you're a nobody, you want to attach yourself to somebody, to feel like you're someone. You know what I mean? So it's like...
And lad, when I was 21 around that time, I had a lot of that, lad. A lot of people just wanting to attach themselves to
especially at a young age.
At a young age. And I just, like, obviously at a young age,
burning the candle at both ends.
Come on, let's fucking do it. You know what I mean? I was loving it. You know what I mean? It was like all attention on me when I was 21. I was fucking made up, lad. People love all that. But like I say, 5 years on now, and I look back and think, wow, you was a fucking fool.
Well, that's good. It's good that you can reflect and go, do you know what? Fucking cringe at some of the stuff.
Cringe though,
but you know, that is important, Paddy, because you've got to go through those experiences.
Yeah, you have
to come out the other side and go, right, all right, I'm going to learn something from this and move forward and go into the solution, or I'm going to fucking behave like a fucking as a lesson for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? You seem to have.
I do, lads. Like I said, over the past, not even from 5 years ago, I've done a lot of growing up. But lad, over the past, I'd say year, 18 months, I've done more growing up than I have my entire life. I've had to realise a lot of things, and a lot of things have happened to me and my family, and we've got through it. Know what I mean? And I can't, like I say, I can't wait to do this next fight, get signed to the UFC, and put Scousers on the map, mate.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Appreciate it. Is there any shouts out for anyone before we sign off?
Need to give Daryl Bazard a shout out, don't we, lad?
Nice
Daryl,
one.
you were messaging Billy to get me on, lad. He's got me on. Give you a little shout out there.
Take it easy. Nice one, Pat.
Thank you very much.
Nice
Bill.
one, bro.